Uncle Ron, I built a hotel.
Show him.
Hotel.
Is that like in his video?
And hello and welcome to another Cities with John episode. I'm Cities Harper and I'm thrilled to have you along for the ride today as we enter episode number 8 of this beach resort series. And I am so excited for this one. And first off, how adorable is my nephew Elliott, my youngest subscriber. Elliott, be sure to click that like button and subscribe. I know you already have, but click like again. So yeah, glad to have you along today because we are adding a large restaurant and a large hotel dedicated to my nephew, and I'm really excited about this one. The first thing that I worked on here, and you can kind of see, went through it rather quickly, was the terraforming and flattening out that area of the map. But before we start working on the hotel, I'm going to start developing some residential area over here just to the left of the strip, the Sunset Strip. And with this setup, I'm going to use Theme Manager. It's something that I haven't used very often, so I'll kind of show you how this works. So first off, we're going to throw in our roads and get this thing kind of set up here. So using Theme Manager is kind of the advanced version of an old school way to build a city. So instead of just plopping down buildings, which is what I normally do now, this is using the same, using the grid method, coloring in the grids to just indicate what you want to grow there. So here we've just thrown together a quick little square and a little bit of a connection here. And what we're going to do is we are going to use Theme Manager to grow specific buildings. So first off, we're going to make this its own little region. Just color it in and click here on High Hills. And I've already made it, but we're going to use these stilt houses. Okay, so you just kind of make your own theme of whatever you want it to be. See these stilt houses here. And then once you've made that and you've turned on the Theme Manager, clicked on the theme that you want, voila, you get a nice little automatically made section of your map. So it's kind of neat. I don't always use that. As a matter of fact, I rarely use it. And sometimes it does not work right. Sometimes Theme Manager does not work. Often it'll give you some buildings that you didn't actually have on your theme, and that can be rather annoying. And there was times where I would make an entire theme of American homes and end up getting like some of the shacks and apartment buildings that didn't go with it at all. So for the most part, I do not use the theme manager, but thought I would kind of show you how it's done on there. It's real simple to use, just unfortunately a few bugs, but we are playing City Skylines, so I guess that's understandable. So the idea of what I wanted to do today, I wanted to have one last good size resort hotel, and I found this Hyatt online on the workshop, and it's just absolutely awesome looking. It has tons of rooms and just really cool looking, and it even has a road that kind of goes through it, which is pretty cool. You don't really see that very often, and you can connect a road to either side of it. And here I'm just kind of connecting the road and trying to figure out how it's going to work with the side of this coast, which can be a little bit difficult to figure out. Anytime you plop down a building, it usually will mess with the land, and you can see there's some weird squiggly looking lines on the terrain right next to the hotel, and those sometimes you cannot do anything about it, especially if you're putting a building that close to the coast. You really can't do much about that. So in this case, we are not going to really worry about it. We're just going to keep rocking it out. And you can usually, using the terraforming that I did at the beginning, you can flatten out some areas before you put in a building, which I did do, but unfortunately I did not do probably enough of it. I could have brought it out, but when you start adding, and when I say bring it out, I mean make more land and take away some ocean. But when you do that, you can really start messing with some stuff, and it's kind of funny, even though it's a huge map, taking out additional land that's going to become part of the ocean, or adding that land back in, can cause some major issues and some major flooding. So I just suggest that if you do that on your city, to be very careful, because you can make somewhat of a tidal wave happen. If you are not careful, it'll just mess with the waves, and that would not be good. Trust me on that one. So connecting this road over here, and then we're going to come back around with the road and connect it right next to the Rio Grande Hotel, and then that way this all kind of connects, and we don't make an additional intersection on the strip. Here you see you can lift that building up and do different things, but ultimately the terraforming is not cooperating with that little jaggy edge there, but is what it is. It's not the end of the world, and nothing that really is going to make a huge difference, and I can cover that up later with some bushes and things like that, just to hide that squiggly edge. So we're going to connect this road. Let's see, we're going to connect this road right over here. There we go. And then we are going, let's see, maybe we can bring that up just a tad, kind of, ooh, not that much. And then that would bring, oh dear. Oh man, I'm getting flashbacks. This is not good. Oh my gosh, what the heck is going on here? What is this, the Great Flood of December 30th or something? Oh, it's like 20 minutes after the fact, and then all of a sudden, it's washing away the cars. Look at this car. It's lost all its paint already. Ah! Oh, man. Whew. That just gets my blood boiling. Oh, nerve-wracking. My heart's beating. Let me calm down just a tad here. It's gonna be okay. We're building in Margaritaville now. It's gonna be all right. That was a horrible, horrible time in my city. That's for sure. All right, so this is kind of a filler building. So what a filler building is, it's basically just a generic building that doesn't have much to it, but you just kind of use as, you know, you can kind of do what I just did here, just kind of combining it with another building to give it something more, where it's not just one building, and kind of give it a uniqueness, since, you know, a lot of people are going to use the same asset, and this kind of gives you something to make it your own. So what we're going to create here is we're going to do a little bit of a network with some sidewalks, and using my prop line tool, we can just use decals and make a very, very wide sidewalk. So instead of just using an actual sidewalk that's in game, we'll just use these decals, and it'll appear like that this is a sidewalk, and really this is not a functioning sidewalk on its own. More on that in just a second. So prop line tool, a very handy thing to use. You can put props in a very specific line, very specific order, and just the way you want them. So instead of having to click multiple times over and over and over again, you don't have to do that. You can just use the prop line tool, and it really helps when it comes to things like this. And a lot of people don't think to use it for things like decals, but I think it's just great for decals, and I probably use it for decals just about as much as I use it for props. So here we have the next part of this we're going to use. Well, first off, I'm going to throw on these beautiful Margaritaville signs. So Margaritaville, apparently we're getting one in Louisville. That was announced last year. I'm not really sure where they're going to put it, but there is one in Las Vegas that is connected with the Flamingo Hotel. And in case you didn't know, they have the world's best nachos. They are unbelievable. But the inside is so cool. There's a volcano in there with like a slide that goes through it. It is like really, really cool. But using this kind of building that I'm using, these filler buildings, you can do whatever you want to with them. You don't have to, I mean, really, it's just whatever you want it to be, it will be. So we're gonna make this one Margaritaville, and it's gonna kind of be like it has an entrance through the hotel. Maybe not this entire building is the Margaritaville, but here's an entrance that will take you into it, and then also you can go through and connect with the hotel, go to your room, or whatever you want to do, all in one big building. So let's see here. We're going to give this kind of I want to use something a tad bit different. First off, we can kind of put some smaller palms in here, kind of giving this a very over-the-top Hawaiian tropical look. Haven't used these palms in particular really anywhere on the map, just maybe in a handful of little spots, but we're going to use those. And then I have this palm, it's kind of a short palm tree, if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So these are really cool looking, very detailed, and I think just look perfect for a Margaritaville. Don't let me sing some Jimmy Buffett on this video. I'm not gonna do it. For real though, I won't do it, don't worry. Alright. Yeah, I think that looks good. Put one here in the corner for good measure. Now then, we're going to copy and paste using Move It and bring this sidewalk straight out. So lots of networking here, lots of spots where people can walk through. I think that looks pretty good. So what we need to do is do some detailing on this roof. It is a very plain roof, so let's add these skylights in, And again, that was prop line tool, making those nice and neat and straight. So we'll put those up on top of the roof, and then what we can do is just copy them again and put them over just like that. And then what else do we need? Maybe some air conditioning units or something like that. Let's see. What is that? I don't think that's anything we need. Oh, I've got some. There we go. We're just gonna put those on at random. They don't have to look absolutely straight and perfect. Just put these on. There we go. All right. Beautiful. Let's see if we can find some appropriate little palms to go kind of like right here at the front. Ooh, I like these right here. Just like put these right here at the front door. All right, so we have got all that stuff set up, and I have done the honors here of not wasting your time looking for all these letters and setting these letters up 100%. When you do letters are props on this game, and you can put them wherever you want to, thanks to Prop Anarchy, but they are somewhat of a pain to deal with. They kind of, well, they're kind of like all over the place, and yeah, they can be a pain. And sometimes when you color them, they don't always cooperate. They don't always stay the same colors. But using these letters here are part of a Paris pack, which I think is a Vegas pack as well. But they look really cool, and I think this gives it a very classy look, which doesn't necessarily go with Margaritaville. But you know, I didn't really want to connect this with the Rio because it already had a restaurant built into the asset, so I thought this would be a perfect place. And what better place to have a good time with friends and family than Margaritaville? And then when you're good and tired, head over to the luxurious Elliott Hotel. I think it looks pretty cool. All right, so we put the Elliott logo over here, and let's check. Oh, doesn't that look cool? What do you think, buddy? You like it? You like your hotel? I think that looks pretty cool. Lots of good detail on this asset, so that is definitely exciting. All right, so next order of business is to complete the sidewalk. Now, one thing that I didn't show you guys that I meant to record, and I just I failed to record it. I am so sorry. But what we do with those sidewalks, so the decals are just decals, and then we go back and we place an invisible sidewalk, so people know to walk up and down the decal stone there, and it appears like that's a sidewalk, and really it's just an invisible sidewalk. So here we go. So see, here I'm adding to where it was, and so we're going to bring that around the corner so people will walk around that corner, and then we're going to have them go all the way down here, which should ultimately connect. Yeah, that'll connect with the road down there. So basically all roads have, well, there's some that don't have sidewalks, so people cannot walk down them. But basically every road, when you connect a sidewalk close to it, it just automatically connects with it. So even though you can't see it, where I just put that invisible sidewalk, people can now walk down the side of that hotel, down to the road, underneath the hotel since there's a road there, all that good stuff. So yeah, and here let's just do a little connecting. We will put this road, let's just see if we can get one that'll actually come out flat. Nope, I guess it will not. That's okay, that's an easy fix. And then we're gonna make a nice good sized parking lot here. I don't want to do another parking garage. I think we've had enough of those as of late. And we'll bring that out to about right there. Let's go with this medium-sized one. All right. I'm just kind of bring it out. No, not too far. I don't really want to connect it with the road. I want it to only be an entrance right there. That sets up a nice little corner that we can maybe throw something in. Fix the street lights up. Make them a little fancier looking. There we go. So I've got the parking spots put in. Now we're going to throw in a couple of little semicircle type curbs, and that'll be where we actually put our lights. I went ahead and got rid of the or I will get rid of the lights that were there. I wasn't really keen on the location of those lights, and so here I'm just going to add prop lights. They do the same thing, but they normally would not be placed where I just placed them. When you do a parking lot, it just kind of puts those lights right in the middle of the parking lot, and I didn't want to go with that this time. So, and we have this nice little corner here, and I think I've got a fountain that I have not used. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I haven't used this fountain anywhere. It's really cool, animated, and it actually uses water. You have to have water connected to this fountain or it won't work. So what we can do, let's see, we'll just kind of, let's do some more curvature over here, and let's just kind of build and see what we can do here. Bring this curb out. Oh, I grabbed the invisible sidewalk. See that? It's grabbing the node from the invisible sidewalk. Let's move that out of the way for a second if we can. Ugh. Yeah, I love this. Get over. There we go. Yeah, got it. All right. It's kind of close to the parking lot, and it's kind of curved too. Tell you what, we'll get rid of that part. Straighten this out just a hair. Bring that down, yeah, right there. Cover up that little corner for a second. And I guess we'll just, let me just extend these decals. I'm just gonna extend these decals over just a tad, like so. Decals can be a little tricky when it comes to situations like this where you have corners. And I'm not sure, well, I'm not really going to be able to get these decals to stop at that little wall. So we'll just bring them, I got a little bit of a downhill slope here. We'll just bring them right here in front of the hotel. And then maybe I can do something with this hill. And a little staircase possibly. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Yeah, I don't think that's going to, probably not going to work. I probably can't get that to cooperate. It's just a tad bit too small. I know there's some other, well, there's plenty of people already going to the hotel. And let's see, let's just throw in this fence here, and I'll just do this. That'll be kind of like a safeguard, and there'll just be like a little hill there. Ooh, old man's getting on his horse there, ain't he? All right, and then maybe we can add Tell you what, let's bring this in maybe just a hair. Tell you what, make some sort of caution. You know what? That looks like a great. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just make like this little thing right here, and then we can throw in a like a security vehicle. Let's see if I got a. Oh, I've got at least. Yeah, here we go. Throw in this police car, security vehicle, just kind of a safe spot, and that'll be like a no parking spot per se. So just bring this fence in just a tad. It's kind of a wonky looking fence, but that's okay. Kind of prevents people from going straight down that little hill. It's not too big of a slope anyway. I'm not really worried about it. It's not really that noticeable. There we go. That looks good. Paint that in, make it all concrete, and then let's just throw in some of these little circle curb props. Let me see, we'll put one. Just put one right there. Oh, that'll be good. And then I want to use the same. Oh, you see my fountain. My fountain needs water. Let's just bring these same palms right over here. I think these palms work well. Kind of tie it into the other side of the Elliott Hotel here. We'll run this curb a little bit further down. Yeah, I like that. Then we'll leave that divide where people could just kind of cut through and walk onto the sidewalk if they wish. And then we have these larger, I think these are called banana palms. Go ahead and throw those in there. All right, so now you can kind of see this thing's kind of coming together. Now we're going to fill up this area around the fountain. I'm just going to use these bush clusters just to give it a kind of thicken it up a little bit. I'm not going to do anything too crazy here. I kind of want to keep it simple, but also I don't want to really have too much sand showing. So this will be kind of a I'll just kind of use these bushes to kind of fill it in. We'll just go ahead and do it over here as well. There we go, nice little bushes. All right, now these larger props, these are not actually trees. These are considered props. Good ground coverage. And we'll just kind of use these to fill up our little gaps over here. I hate to have just a plain open area of just sand this far or this close to the road. I think it needs to have something somewhat decorating this area, nothing too crazy. And then let's put these benches in. We got these little gaps where the bushes work. That works out just perfectly. We'll just throw those benches in there like so. And those are the benches that people actually will come sit down on. So that's cool. We might be able to put one up here next to the entrance. Let's see if it'll. Oh, I grabbed the invisible sidewalk again. Oh, I'm such a dork. There. Well, okay. See that indication means that it's not connected. So that's not gonna work. Oh well. We could still put a prop up there if we want to, but I'm not really worried about it. You can sit by the road. Oh, there's a 10-minute wait. Where can I sit? Go sit out there next to the traffic. Okay, let's throw this gazebo in. Maybe we can just take some of these bushes back out. Nice little gazebo. Actually, you know what? Let's take this gazebo and actually we'll put it up here right in the corner of the sidewalk. Let me just move these bushes over here. Just throw in a few little extra ones for good measure. I like these little purple flowers here. We'll just add them around the bushes or around the benches. Yeah, that looks really good. I like how this is turning out. All right, well, episode 8's in the books. We got the Elliott Hotel open for business. Look at all those tourists lined up, ready to go. Love it, love it. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, only a couple more episodes left in this series. I wanted to wrap it up maybe at episode 10. That might be my last one. So 10 episodes for the beach resort. Thanks for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it. And Elliott, I hope you enjoyed it too. See you next time.